How is everybody doing? What a win for the Phoenix Suns tonight. Before we get started, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how the microphone's sounding. I would really appreciate that as always. Let me know what you guys are drinking tonight, even if you're just drinking water, staying sober. Let me know what you're drinking tonight. Not gonna lie, I had one of these earlier, and I'm gonna crack another one open. A little bit of a Budweiser here. We got a nice win to talk about. We got lots of good stuff to talk about tonight. So we're going to crack this bad boy open and pour it in my Phoenix Suns mug right here. Hopefully this is a good pour. Hopefully I don't spill it all over my computer. How is everybody doing tonight? What's up, Sawbucks? Appreciate everybody that's in here, man. All right, I'll show you guys the pour. Oh, I spilled a little bit of a party foul, but that's okay. If you guys saw my comment in the chat, I finally figured out how to do moderators. So if I feel like I can trust you, like Sawbucks, for example, I'll make you a moderator if you want to be them. You're probably saying, "What's a moderator?" Well, I did spill it on my computer. Anyways, a moderator is pretty much like where you can kick out the bots, and if you see like offensive comments, you can like remove them. Like you'll have that power. Um, don't worry, guys. We're okay. A little bit of a party foul, but we're okay. Anyways, lots of great stuff to talk about. Yeah, Sawbuck says, what a mug. Yeah, I've had this mug for a while, man. I like this mug. So let's celebrate a Phoenix Suns victory. Lots of stuff to talk about, mostly good in my opinion. Do me a favor, you guys. Hulk smash that like button, share the stream, and let's talk about this Phoenix Suns victory. Cheers. Oh, yeah. So refreshing after a great weekend, after a great week. Looking forward to more blessings this week. Mark Jackson says, jumped in to smash that like button. Absolutely. Just Hulk smash that like button. Tell a friend about Suns Geek. Go tell your grandma. Go tell your aunt. Tell your neighbor. Tell the grocery store clerk. Just tell everybody about Suns Geek. The best way to support this channel, you guys, is just to keep watching, and I would really appreciate it. We're going to dive into this game, you guys. I already see a couple of questions in here. Do me a favor, you guys. Ask a question. I will try my best to get to it. And we'll dive into the numbers. We'll dive into my takeaways. I have a couple new drops, if you will, inspired by my good friends over at the Suns Jam Session podcast. Kind of like this drop, for example.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I have a couple of those that I worked on for like an hour. They're not very good, but I worked on them, and I'm going to have more throughout the season. So get ready for the post-game live shows. I definitely want to do more pre-game live shows. But you guys don't care about that. Suns Geek, tell us about this win. This was a great win, you guys. Look, I don't want to sound cocky because it was earlier. It's early in the season, excuse me. But I kind of knew at halftime that we were going to win. And don't get me wrong, around the third quarter, the Clippers did a very good job of responding. They actually were making their threes, but it seemed like every time every time the Clippers had momentum, the Suns were just in full control. It didn't matter what the Clippers would do. Even if they were making their threes, the Suns just had control of this game. And I even talked about how if the Phoenix Suns bench were to come in, hopefully they can contain the lead. For the most part, they did that. I mean, the Suns did have to bring in their starters later in the game, but you kind of just knew right away that the Suns were going to win this game. So if you guys did not know, Chris Paul had 2 assists very early in this game. It gave him 11,000 for his career. He joins John Stockton and former Phoenix Sun Jason Kidd in the category. He is now the first player in NBA history to reach 20,000 career points and 11,000 assists. And true fact right here, you guys, on this day, October 23rd, 2021, Chris Paul hit 10,000 assists. I shit you not. I bullshit you not. Um, Shout out to Mark Jackson, man, who says, "Thank you, Brandon. I have to go to bed with an early start tomorrow." That's okay. I appreciate you being here, Mark Jackson. Thank you for the love, man. Thank you for all the support. He says, "Love the show." Well, thank you, man. Well, I love you guys for all watching me. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Um, Also, a couple more random facts before we really dive into this game. These are my opening thoughts. Um, just so you guys know, the Clippers are now 60-22 when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard play. Coming into this game, they were 60-21. And then they said in the broadcast that like last season, the Suns were 54-5 when the Suns led by 10 or more, which is pretty crazy. But let's talk about that first quarter. It was kind of I had flashbacks of last year in a good way because, excuse me, because the Suns they were taking and making shots. Devin Booker was being Devin Booker. We're going to talk about him in a minute. They started off this game 11-0. And you kind of knew that this game was going to get out of control when it was 7-0. But you're like, okay, this is basketball. Leads can evaporate. They can go away quickly. But when they were 11-0, that was kind of when you noticed, like, okay, something's wrong with the Clippers. And look, I don't want to make excuses for the Clippers. No professional basketball team should use the excuse of, oh, we had a back, they lost to the King, or they beat the Kings last night. They were coming on a back-to-back. That should not be an excuse. You're professional basketball. This is the Los Angeles Clippers. They're a title contender. Back-to-back should not be an excuse. So I don't want to make excuses for them, but I think they were pretty exhausted from last night. But that's no excuse. They played the Sacramento Kings, who were like a hop and a skip away. It's not like they had to go like all the way to New York or something like that. So 11-0 to start the game. They're making and taking shots. They're making their threes. Devin Booker was 6 for 9 early in this game. He was outscoring the Clippers by himself. At one point, the game was 24-10. The Suns had a few sloppy turnovers in the first quarter, but again, it just didn't matter. Every single time the Clippers gained momentum, the Suns just took the game back, even with those sloppy turnovers. And we saw a little bit of that tonight, but that's okay because the Clippers turned the ball over as well. They couldn't get anything going tonight. It didn't matter what lineups they put out there. Didn't matter if they were making their threes. The Suns took this game away and they put it away early. And oh my God, we already got the bots in here. If you guys missed the start of the show, I finally figured out how to do moderators. So if you want to be a mod, let me know. I have to kind of trust you. If I see you guys in the stream a lot, you guys can be a moderator. So let me know if you guys want to do that. I'm going to take a sip of my beer real quick, and we will continue on throughout this show because this is a great game and there's lots of good things to talk about. We got about 47 people in here. I appreciate everybody that's in here right now. Cheers. All right. So Applebite Music, I appreciate you being here, man. You're actually going to be my very first moderator. Hopefully this works too. Okay. I think it worked. I finally figured out how to do it. He says, Hulk smash that like button, y'all. Cheers. Yes. Do me a favor, you guys. Hulk smash that like button. Share the show. Just tell people about Suns Geek. Continue to watch my content because that would really help me out. It tells YouTube that I'm doing a good job around here, and I appreciate you guys. KC Beat says, I'm trying to send a super chat, but I can't. That's all good, man. I appreciate that, though. Appreciate your generosity, even if you can't send it. If you have a question, man, let me know, or a comment. I'll try my best to get to it. All right. But I appreciate that, though. If you guys want to, though, you totally don't have to. You guys can send me a super chat. Just hit the super thanks button or hit the super chat button. One of the two. Donate what you can. You totally don't have to, though. Just the fact that you guys are watching me right now is an honor within itself. We got 50 people in here and we've been live for 10 minutes. You guys are awesome. So let's keep talking about this game. Early in the first quarter, Actually at the end of the first quarter, excuse me, the Suns were shooting 61%. And then they actually raised that percentage to 62% at the end of the first quarter. It was 33-18, and it was all Devin Booker. I think at halftime he had 18 points. He kind of cooled down a little bit because the Clippers defense sort of stepped up a little bit. He was 7 for 11 from the field. At one point, 10 players. At one point, the Suns had 10 players who had scored. It was just all Phoenix Suns tonight. They were actually making their shots. It legit felt like a team win tonight. The Suns were up 20 at halftime, shooting 50%, 39% from three. They had 30 rebounds at halftime and 14 assists. That was one huge stat that really stood out to me at halftime. And then they were interviewing assistant head coach Brian Shaw, who I'm not going to lie, I didn't know was an assistant head coach for the Clippers. He talked about the Clippers' energy and pace. And that was one thing throughout the entire game that I noticed. The Clippers just look slow. But again, no excuse. Even if you are coming off of a back-to-back, even if you are coming off of a close game against the Clippers, no excuse in the NBA. There's no excuses. The NBA keeps getting better. Even if you're going up against like the OKC Thunder or something like that, every game, you could lose. You have the potential to lose every game. And it's early in the season. I understand guys are still getting into like NBA shape and all that, but there's no excuse. But I really feel like the Clippers were pretty tired tonight. I will say that. As I mentioned, in the third quarter, Clippers started to make their threes. They responded well, but it just didn't matter. They didn't have an answer for Devin Booker tonight. They had 5 turnovers early in the first. They had 5 turnovers early in the fourth quarter, and then right after that, Cameron Johnson drained a 3. They were down 15 points with 6:11 to go, and that was it. Another thing I will say was the Phoenix Suns' second chance points were really big in this game, especially in that first half. It was just a dominant victory. If the Phoenix Suns can do this, let's say 70 out of the 82 games or 80 games left 80 games. I can't do math. If the Phoenix Suns can look like this 90% of the time, they're going to win a lot of games. They just have to be consistent. And I've been talking about this since the preseason. If the Phoenix Suns bench, who I thought was pretty good tonight, can be this good on a night in and night out basis, we're going to win a lot of games. And that's something to be excited about. What happened tonight is something to be excited about. I understand it's still early in the season. I understand we're probably going to have some very frustrating losses like the other night against Portland. But this is something to be excited about. And sure, the next time we see the Clippers, they're going to come out for revenge. They're probably going to look a lot better. But I think the Suns will be ready for them. So we're going to take a moment here. We're going to get to some comments and everything. Again, I will try my best to get to your guys' comments. If you want to be a moderator in this chat, let me know. I'll do my best to get to you guys. Let me see. There was a couple questions earlier. I think I saw something about Chris Paul, who I kind of want to look at his numbers and talk about. I will say this about Chris Paul right away before I read the question. I think Chris Paul is still trying to find his shot, but he doesn't really look like Chris Paul from last year. I feel like this is like a game to game thing. There's some games where he looks really good. Some games he looks really bad. Some games he kind of like mixed reviews. I always ask this every stream, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about Chris Paul so far? Excuse me. There's just some games where he looks really good. Some games he doesn't. I'm not really worried too much offensively with Chris Paul, but I think it's everything else. I don't know if we're seeing that fire from Chris Paul like we were last year. Okay, let's see. Just making sure I'm not missing any good comments. Low Tone Capone says Clippers are now 27-8 against the Suns in the regular season since 2013-14. Holy shit. I did not know that. In all fairness, though, that was like a decade ago. Suns were pretty bad up until 2019, 2020. That's interesting though. I did not know that. Let's see. Yeah, so Prada says Mr. Load Management can't play more than 20 minutes a game. I have some thoughts on that about Kawhi Leonard because in his first game back, he actually looked pretty good and he looked aggressive in this game, but I think it was just a little too late. Maybe they're keeping him on the bench a little too much, but then again, he hasn't played since what? January, not January, June of 2021. So I wonder if they're just playing it safe with Kawhi Leonard. I mean, let's be real, it's a long season. You know what I mean? It's not even the end of October yet. So they're probably just playing it safe. But I kind of wonder if they also need to let Kawhi off the leash as well. Just my personal opinion. I will say Kawhi Leonard was pretty smart in terms of attacking Cam Johnson tonight. That was one thing that I noticed. He was like the very first possession when he got on the court, he drove in the lane and attacked Cam Johnson and got an and one. That's what Kawhi Leonard does. So, but I'm looking at the numbers right now 21 minutes, 11 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 2 for 6 shooting for Kawhi Leonard. I mean, let's see. David Ray says 35 points for D Book. We're going to talk about Devin Booker later. Don't worry, we will. I'm not too worried about the Suns' regular season. Could still get that top seed to that 3 spot. I've said this since early in the preseason. I've said that I think worst case scenario, I think that the Suns will be the 3rd seed, unless like injuries, God forbid, just kill us. But Applebite Music says our defense was solid tonight. Our defense really was solid tonight. I kind of want to talk about that a little bit later too. One thing I noticed was the Suns were contesting shots extremely well tonight. I mean, there were a few times where the Clippers had really nice, tough makes, but I think that the Suns made it really tough on them. So shout out to the Suns defense tonight. Okay, let's see. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Xavier says, Geek, I'm trying to be one. Let me see if I can make you a moderator real quick, Xavier. I got to scroll back up on the chat. Here we go. If you guys want to be a moderator, let me know. You guys can help kick out the bots. You guys can help remove any, disrespectful comments and all that. And it would really help support the chat. I'd appreciate it. Let's see. All right. Again, if I missed your comment or question, let me know. That the chat is blowing up right now. It's hard to keep track. So if you had a question, I can't even speak. So I got to play my drop right now because I can't even talk.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you have a question or a comment and I missed it, please let me know. I probably already missed it and I'm so sorry. Let me take a sip of my beer and we'll continue on. All right. Oh my gosh, we are having so many issues tonight. What the heck is going on? I'm so sorry, you guys. Please forgive me. I don't know what just happened right there. All right, let's take a deep breath here. Let's relax. Let's dive into the numbers. And I'm going to share my screen here so that you guys can all witness this with me. I don't know what just happened right there. I'm so sorry. We're going to take a look at the numbers, then we'll take a look at the team stats as well. Let me get the full screen up here. Let me actually zoom in. Hopefully I can zoom in a little bit too. That way you guys can kind of see the better numbers too. Excuse me. All right, can you guys see that okay? All right, cool. All right, so I want to introduce you guys to a quote new drop, and I spent like less than an hour on this, so it's terrible. I mean, I don't do good drops like my friends over at the Suns Jam Session podcast do. So let me introduce you to this new drop real quick. And before the drop, let's actually after the drop, let's talk about Cam Johnson.
What's up, Suns Geek?
You guys like that high quality, totally expensive, well edited drop? Did you miss it? Let's play it.
What's up, Suns Geek?
Let's talk about Cam Johnson. Coming into this game, I honestly didn't think he was going to play because, to my knowledge, this was his like fourth injury since October 5th. And shout out to Dwayne Rankin. He did a good job of breaking this down. He had the injury on the right thumb on October 5th. Then it was like right quad cramps and then right hip contusion and etc. And he did mention how, like, he said, and I quote, it was an immediate pain. It felt heavy. If you've ever fallen on your hip before, you understand. He said that he was trying to get the swelling out and movement back and some strength in it. Then he said he'd be good to go. So he must have had an incredible like 24 hours of recovery. And you know what? 23 minutes tonight, 3 made threes, and 5 very quiet rebounds. I thought he looked good tonight. I liked what I saw out of Cam Johnson. You know, he's probably not at 100%. Like I mentioned, Kawhi Leonard did his thing and drove at him a couple different times. And, you know, he had 4 fouls. But I liked what I saw out of Cam Johnson. I hope that he's okay. He obviously was good enough to start. So if Cam Johnson can kind of be at what, 75%, maybe 70%, come in, knock a few threes down, be out there as an offensive threat, then I think I'm okay with Cam Johnson being okay. I honestly didn't think he was going to come back this fast. It surprised me, especially with those injuries that I just mentioned. And I really mean this, you guys. I really believe that Cam Johnson's going to do some great things this season. He's just got to be consistent. He's got to make those shots. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to become a better defender, get more rebounds. But I really feel like he's going to have a great season. I'm excited for Cam Johnson. So 23 minutes, 11 points, 5 very quiet rebounds, also had 2 assists. I like it. Let's talk about Devin Booker. I need to get a drop for Devin Booker. I'm surprised I don't have one yet. But again, I only spent like an hour on these drops last night because I was bored and tired. 35 points. As I mentioned, in the first quarter, outscored the Clippers by himself. It was 24-10. He had 14 points. It was just the Devin Booker show. It didn't matter who you had on him. He was driving to the lane. He was getting those mid-range shots. At the very end of the game, he had that like fadeaway corner 3 where he walked near the bench and just celebrated. They should have taken him out way earlier, but maybe he wanted to keep it going. 35 points. He got started early. Again, it didn't matter who you put on him. He was absolutely incredible tonight. He looked like Devin Booker. I mean, 5 points away from 40 points. Last night against the Kings, Paul George had 40 points. Devin Booker was awesome. He just, I mean, besides maybe a few sloppy turnovers, which I can forgive, he looked really, really good. I mean, it doesn't surprise me anymore. Devin Booker is just one of the best players in the game. I think he's averaging over 30 a game so far this season on really good shooting percentages, to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that. He sort of has a weird tendency to get started early and then cool down a bit. We've seen that a lot the past few years. Maybe that's normal though. But Devin Booker's Devin Booker, man. He's the franchise player of this team. He's the best player on this team. All NBA last year. He's going to be an all-star again this year. I book it. I guarantee it. And you got to love Devin Booker, man. Again, I want to hear from you guys in the comments about Chris Paul. I think offensively he's fine. I don't know if we're necessarily seeing the take over Chris Paul like we've seen last year, but maybe that's why his shooting percentages and his shots per game and everything are so bad. Like tonight, 3 for 11 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3. Even at one point I was like Chris Paul's taking way too many threes. But in all fairness, at the very first 3 they left him wide open. Um but yeah, pretty bad. 3 for 11, 1 for 8 from 3. He did have 11 assists and 8 rebounds and 7 points. So if he would have hit one more 3, he almost would have had a triple double, but and a couple more rebounds, but I don't know, just something just seems strange with Chris Paul. I thought during the preseason he was really really good, but I just don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm overlooking something with Chris Paul. I want to know. Just making sure I'm not missing any comments here. Shout out to my guy Casey. Shout out to my guy Casey over at NBA Uni Tracker. He does a great job. Great content over there. Go follow him. Check him out on Twitter. Go check out NBA Uni Tracker on Twitter as well. He says D-Book is still mad underrated. Exactly, man. NBA Twitter loves to just talk trash about Devin Booker, but the players know. The coaches know. Devin Booker is one of the best players in the league. He's the Suns' best player. And tonight he reminded fans of that. Even if he has a bad shooting game, which he didn't tonight, Devin Booker can still drop 20 on your head. He's just one of the best players in the league. Let's see. Chris Paul needs to step it up and not shoot threes at all. Stick to the mid-range. I kind of agree with that because, again, I wonder if Chris Paul is kind of, quote, experimenting with his shot or trying to find his shot, which is kind of risky to do. But you really should be the aggressive Chris Paul that we all know and love, the takeover Chris Paul that we all know and love, and get those mid-range shots and take over a game like we've seen Chris Paul do countless times. I don't know why. Maybe because he was wide open and the Suns had the big lead. Maybe that's why he was taking so many threes. But tonight it was kind of, even I was like, dude, like stop shooting. Like, yeah, you hit 1 3, but that was it. Like, I don't know. It's still early though. I don't want to make too many excuses for Chris Paul because I want to hold my team accountable and the players accountable, but it still is early. But 1 for 8, 3-point shooting is no good. Even if the Suns were up by like 50, you shouldn't be shooting 1 for 8. That's just terrible. Let's talk about Deandre Ayton a little bit. Speaking of Deandre Ayton, do I have a drop for Deandre Ayton? I do not have a drop for Deandre Ayton, but I do have this, so I'll just play that. Let's talk about Deandre Ayton. Not his best game necessarily, but not his worst. 13 points, 8 boards, 6 for 11 from the field, attempted 1 3. He looked okay out there, a little timid at times. Had a couple mid-range shots that I thought could have went in, but he missed. But he was okay tonight. Zubac wasn't really an impact for them either. I have a newfound respect for Ivica Zubac, by the way. Played very well during Eurobasket with Phoenix Suns' Dario Saric, so kind of have a newfound respect for him. But Ayton was okay. Maybe they weren't giving him the ball enough. Maybe that was it. Or maybe he was just kind of feeling the flow of the game. And I mean, he only did play 29 minutes. So maybe I'm missing something with DeAndre Ayton. I don't know. I thought he was okay though. I mean, he still finished with 13 points. Did get into foul trouble, five fouls, which we kind of saw, I think, in the very first game against the Mavericks. Got in foul trouble early, but he was all right. Phoenix Suns bench was really big tonight, in my opinion. The numbers may not seem like it, but I really feel like the Suns bench was important tonight. Let me take a sip of my drink and we'll talk about it. Check out my Phoenix Suns mug if you guys missed it. Phoenix Suns bench. Torrey Craig, he's been shooting a lot of corner threes lately, surprisingly. Finished with 8 points, 9 rebounds. I liked his effort tonight. Whether you love or hate Torrey Craig, I liked his effort tonight. The hustle is there. The energy is there. Now, again, on the stat sheet, he's probably not going to bring it every night. Excuse me. But he's had a couple impressive offensive rebounds throughout the season. Gives you that energy, gives you the defense. I like what Torrey Craig did tonight. I think he takes a little too much corner threes, but you never know. Jock Landale, 17 minutes, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 2 of them more offensive. Damian Lee had a really nice play where he was at the corner and then he drove in and found Jock Landale for the nice pass. There was a breakdown on the Clippers D, and Jock Landale just threw it down. The Clippers went small at one point, and Jock Landale took advantage. Getting those offensive rebounds, getting those putbacks, tipping the ball up in the air. There was one play where the ball was dished inside to him and he caught it and he went up, got fouled by Paul George, bucket and one. I like what Jock Landale's doing, man. He's a nice backup center. Cameron Payne looked a little explosive tonight. Didn't shoot the best, 4 for 11, only made 1 3, but 10 points. Sometimes you just need a game like this to get you going a little bit. He looked aggressive. He looked like he had a lot of energy. Landry Shamet, 8 points, 2 made threes, 13 minutes. The Suns just played as a nice unit tonight. They looked good. And even if it is our bench just putting up, 10 points here, a couple made threes here, good defense, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that, but they have to. And you know what? I talked about this earlier a little bit. I made a little YouTube short earlier and I put it in my notes. I said tonight might come down to a battle of the benches. Because for the most part, to my knowledge, the Clippers have Nick Batum or whoever, Nick Batum, Covington, Trey Mann, Luke Kennard, maybe a couple others coming off the bench against, Cameron Payne, Damian Lee, Okogie, Sarge, etc. So I really felt like tonight the bench was pretty impactful for the Suns. Now, in all fairness, they have John Wall coming off of their bench. And you know what? He's looked pretty good. He didn't play last night against the Kings. He had 17 points tonight, 21 minutes, 7 for 12 from the field. I even tweeted out he's reminding people why he was a 5-time All-Star back in the day. And they did bring Kawhi Leonard off the bench, so that doesn't really count. But Nick Batum didn't really do much tonight. Covington didn't really do much tonight. Their whole bench struggled in a way. So I really feel like the Phoenix Suns bench was supposed, I'm glad they were big tonight. They needed to show up when it mattered. So let's look at the team stats now. I feel like we've done a pretty decent job of breaking down individual players. And again, I'm so sorry if I missed your guys' question or comment. I will try my best to get to it. There's so many comments in here. I'm trying to keep up. Casey says, speaking of NBA Uni Tracker, I'm actually working on team graphics for the season. Well, shout out to you, man. I love all your posts. Seriously, guys, if you want to know anything that's going on with NBA uniforms or jerseys, follow NBA Uni Tracker, follow Casey. Check him out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Excuse me. Check him out. Let's see. I do want to talk about Damian Lee in a minute. That was one player I forgot to talk about, but let me just catch up on some comments here. Applebite Music says CP3 is tired. You can see it in his games. Hardly gets all the way back on defense and is walking up and down the court most of the game. Now, I would really have to observe the footage and really look at it. But I kind of noticed that a little bit from the team tonight as well. Maybe they were trying to cherry pick at times, but you might be right about that. And that's not the Chris Paul that I know. I just really wonder if maybe Chris Paul came into the season out of shape, maybe. And maybe he's trying to find his shot. Maybe he's trying to get back into game shape. I'm not trying to make excuses for Chris Paul. I just wonder if that's the case. And I hope that it's not, I hope it's not like that this season. I hope that he gets back into, all-star game form and we can see that take over Chris Paul. Maybe he can have like a 25 point, 12 assist explosion sometime soon because we're going to need it. So I hope that Chris Paul's okay. I hope he's not tired. I hope he's not sick. I hope he's not injured. I hope that he's okay. Chris was playing more of a playmaker than scorer. He seems to want everyone on his team to score more than him scoring all the points. It's interesting that you say that. Now, we haven't really seen, I mean, I guess we kind of have. We saw a lot of that during the preseason. His assist numbers were pretty good during the preseason. And again, I think tonight he had what, like 11 assists or something like that? I forget the numbers already. But Monty Williams made a random comment that I don't feel like we've really seen too much of, but he said something along the lines of like, Chris Paul wants to get going early, but sometimes they read the game a little bit. And maybe that was the case tonight. Maybe Chris Paul knew the Suns were up early and they were going to win. So he tried to get everybody going. But I want to see Chris Paul take over. I really do. I want to see Chris Paul just have a dominant mid-range game, high shooting percentage performance. I really do. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments. I'm trying to get to every single one. If I could get to every single comment, we'd be here for hours. Let's see. Craig took a hard foul at the end. Do we know if he's good? I know that he stayed on the floor after that, to my knowledge, but let me see if the media is saying anything. Yes, so far, nothing on Torrey Craig. I mean, I think he stayed on the floor, to my knowledge. Yeah, I mean, so far, nothing on Torrey Craig, but we'll have to see. But that was a pretty hard hit. Okay, let's see. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. We got about 68 people in here. We're 38 minutes in. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Again, I'll try to get to everybody's comments or questions, concerns, whatever it may be. If I missed it, make sure to ask it again. I promise I'll try to get to it. I need like a co-host in here to like help me read all these comments because it's kind of difficult. Anyways, let's look at the team numbers. That's what I've been meaning to do, but we haven't done it yet. Phoenix Suns shot 46% tonight. 46%. And surprisingly, the Clippers shot nearly 44%. I think that just goes to show how great NBA offenses are nowadays. However, Clippers at halftime were shooting 8% from three. I'm not even joking. The Clippers at halftime were shooting 8% from three. I even tweeted that out. They finished the game shooting 28% from three. 9 threes made. The Suns made 15 of them. That's huge. Suns only missed one free throw. They won the rebounding battle tonight, 49-43. They had 13 offensive boards, 29 assists. They had 14 at halftime. You guys will hear me say this a lot on every stream. If the Suns can get 29 or more assists or 30 or more assists, they probably will win the game. Now, last game against the Blazers, I think they had 29 assists or 30 assists, but they didn't win the game. But most of the time that will not happen. You know what I mean? They will win the game if they have more than 29 assists. If that makes sense. Am I making sense? Let's ask Russell Westbrook because I don't know what I'm talking about.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So yeah, I don't know. That's just a little bit of a takeaway. I'm really big on assists. Like if this team can pass the ball, swing the ball around, have great ball movement, which I feel like the ball movement was really good tonight. I feel like they're going to win a lot of games. Points in the paint battle probably could have been a little bit better. I mean, they tied tonight 46-46. Not sure how I feel about that. Both teams had 18 fouls. Largest lead was 18. The Suns had very low turnovers tonight. Only 12, which is really impressive. So shout out to the Phoenix Suns. It was a nice win. Just an all-around nice win. Let's see. Appreciate you, Alpha Bite Music. Everyone Hulk smash that like button. Yes, we're over 40 minutes in. We got 76 people in here. Absolutely just destroy that like button. Share the stream. Tell your grandma, tell your neighbor, tell your cousin, tell your grocery store clerk, tell your coworker about Suns Geek. Even if they're not a Suns fan, just say, hey, check out this guy Suns Geek. He's awesome. Go watch his streams. They probably won't do that, but just do it anyways. And you guys, I was watching this video earlier. Can I get a little cheesy on y'all for a minute? I was watching this video earlier, and the moral of the video, the purpose of the video was the guy pretty much said, whether it's 5 people watching you or like 500, doesn't matter. You should appreciate every single viewer. And I appreciate each and every single one of you. Like, I'm just a dude on YouTube who talks about the Phoenix Suns. I'm just a huge Suns fan. I mean, I'm rocking a Power Rangers t-shirt. I mean, look at that. I'm just a guy who loves talking about the Phoenix Suns on YouTube. So the fact that you guys are watching me right now with all the other great Suns content that's out there, you guys are the real ones. You guys are awesome. And I love you guys. So appreciate you guys watching. Again, the best way to support me, keep watching the channel. What we can do next, if you guys want, and again, I'm trying to get to all the comments and everything. What we can do next is we can preview the next few games, and then I can try to answer some questions. We can keep going for a little bit. If you want, we can go until about the hour mark. You know, we got 84 people in here. Let me pour another sip of my drink here out of my awesome Phoenix Suns mug. And we'll try to get some questions. We'll preview the next few games. Stay tuned. Like I mentioned, you guys, stay tuned for more pre-game and post-game shows. Ooh, I didn't want a party foul like I did last time because I accidentally spilled a little on my computer. But yeah, we can do all that. So get your questions in, get your comments or concerns in. I'm going to take a sip of this drink, and cheers. All right. Joey says, like Ayton in the Portland game, has so many easy bunnies and missed like half of them. Should have had 40 points, but he is soft. Okay. First off, let me just react with this. I understand what you're saying about easy bunnies. I do agree with that comment. Sometimes Ayton really does have like really nice mid-range looks that we all know he can hit, or he'll be like really close to the rim and not make the shot. But in all fairness, like I mentioned, I did see I found a newfound respect for Ivica Zubac tonight. And sometimes Ayton's just, well, not tonight. I found a new found respect for Zubac during Eurobasket this summer. But he is a pretty big presence out there. And even though he didn't have the best game tonight, sometimes Ayton is a little hesitant. And let's be real, sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the basket. Let's be real. But he still finished 6 for 11 from the field. So I do agree with you. I don't know if he really should have had 40 points. That's kind of a stretch, especially against a team like the Clippers. But I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I do appreciate your comment though. Let's see. Okay. I feel like this is a better start than last season. I kind of agree with you because don't forget, you guys, and I mentioned this too. People have mentioned this, and I had to be reminded of it. The Phoenix Suns started 1-3 last year and then won 18 in a row. And if you guys are not happy with this start, let me kind of give you guys a NBA reality check here. Go look at the standings. Every game has been played for tonight. The Jazz are 3-0. No disrespect to my boys, Philly Take with RB and Romp 2.0, but the Sixers are 0-3 and they're playing terrible. The Sixers. The Clippers are 2-1. Who else? Who else am I forgetting? The terrible Lakers are 0-3. Like, I hope you guys are happy with this start because look, yes, we lost the other night against the Blazers. I understand that. But I was pretty optimistic about that loss because we fought till the end. If Jock Landale, maybe would have been a second earlier, we probably would have won. It was a close game. And just the way that we played in that game, I felt optimistic. And look what we did tonight against the Clippers. We just need to continue this momentum throughout the rest of the season. And there's going to be some tough stretches. There's going to be some tough games. I don't know why this Deandre Ayton thing is still up here. So speaking of that, give me a moment here, and we're going to look at the schedule. We're going to kind of quote preview these games. And by preview, I'm just going to look at the schedule and give my initial reactions to everything I've seen, witnessed, maybe tell you guys some things about certain NBA teams that you don't know yet. All right. Oh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Give me a second here, you guys. All right. Here is the Phoenix Suns schedule. So sort of like we did last time, we're going to preview it all the way till the end of October. Now let me take a sip of my beer and we'll continue on here. Still got a little bit of a beer left, so we can keep going until maybe about the hour mark if you guys are down. That's like 13 minutes from now. So cheers, and then we'll preview the schedule. Yeah, Applebite Music says it perfectly. We barely lost to Portland. We could be 3-0. Exactly. I think even some Suns players and Monty Williams said that we should have won the other night. It was a good learning experience. And that's another team I forgot to mention. The Blazers are 3-0. They beat the Lakers tonight. They're playing good. I said that in my stream last night. I said, if the Blazers can stay healthy, they'll probably be pretty good. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but I'm saying they'll probably be pretty good. They'll be better at least than they were last year. Let me zoom in on the schedule so you guys can see it a little better. Hopefully you guys can see that. Give me a second here, you guys. Let me lower this comment. Let me get the burpees out and then we'll continue on. All right. Next game, Tuesday, October 25th versus the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Not going to be easy. We got to defend that 3-point line. I don't care if Klay Thompson is a 70% ready to go or 100%. You still got Steph Curry out there. You got Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole. That team can shoot. I do think Dante DiVincenzo might have gotten injured tonight, to my knowledge, but still, that team is really good. Even their young guns, like James Wiseman, are really good, and Jonathan Kuminga. They're the defending champions. So it's not going to be easy. Probably expect a pregame show for me before that game. I'm going to try to do a pregame show before that. So stay tuned for that. October 20th, we have 2 days off after that, which is huge. That will give us some time to practice. That will give us some time to, hopefully heal up any injuries, God forbid. Friday, October 28th against the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm pretty high on this Pelicans team. You guys will learn that. I don't know why. I just am. Maybe because I'm a big fan of their head coach, Willie Green, who's our former assistant, by the way. Maybe it's because I'm a big fan of CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Jonas Valanciunas. I could go on and on with that team. That team is solid. They have a lot of good players. And again, I'll say this again. They almost beat us in the playoffs last year. Sunday, October 30th versus the Houston Rockets. I'm not trying to sound negative here. I said this last stream. I'll double down on it. I could see us losing that game. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I could see us losing that game. Maybe we'll crush them by 30 points. I don't know. But I feel like we could lose that game potentially. I mean, that's a young Rockets team, probably full of offensive weapons like Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, KJ Martin, et cetera, Alfred Sengun. Then one day later, I thought that was a back to back, but it's not. One day later, November 1st, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shout out to my guy, Let's Talk Wolves on Twitter. Go give him a follow. I would like to have him on for the pregame or postgame show. So maybe you guys will have a guest on here. That guy covers like all Minnesota sports. He's a good dude. So you guys might have a guest on that night. Then we versed the Blazers back to back. Now we got a couple days off prior to that, thank God. Hopefully Damian Lillard, I can't talk, has a bad game that game. But the Blazers are looking good, man. And then Monday, November 7th versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I know that they're off to an 0-3 start and they're not looking good. Let me read you an actual text message from my guy Romp 2.0 who covers the Sixers. That's my guy right there. He's been on this channel before. He has a second YouTube channel called Let's Talk Sixers. I texted him this. Because we're just talking and stuff. I said, I'm listening to your rant video. I left a comment. He goes, I appreciate the comment. Better to peak later than now, but still pathetic effort. So the Sixers are not doing good right now. But maybe by the time we play them on November 7th, which is Monday, I should say, maybe they'll be better. They got Joel Embiid, who's an MVP candidate for the most part. Although he's not really looked that good, to be honest. We'll have to see. And then Timberwolves, probably going to make the playoffs this year. The Magic, they got a lot of nice young players. Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner. Who else they got? Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, etc. Cole Anthony, etc. So that's the Phoenix Suns preview. I mean, I could keep going on and on. Miami, Golden State, Utah, New York, Los Angeles. It goes on and on. I could preview every single team, but we'd be here for like 10 hours. So get your questions in right now. Let me know if I missed any comments. Let me know if I missed any good conversation starters. Let me know. I'll try to continue on. I need you guys to get active right now. Ask me a question. Leave a good comment. Do you have any concerns? Is there anything that stood out to you that I haven't talked about? I mean, I'm a one-man show here. I only see so much on the court. I don't know. I kind of see what I see and I get on camera and I give my opinion on it. Applebite Music makes a good point. The home stretch is going to be big for us. Exactly. We are on the home. What? Our next 6 games are at home. Holy shit. I didn't even notice that. Warriors at home, or we're at home. Pelicans, home game. Rockets, home game. Timberwolves, Blazers, home game. I love it. Beautiful. And then we only got 4 games on the road, 5 games. Then we come back against the Warriors. Shout out to Applebite Music, man. I appreciate you, bro. You've been in these live streams. You've been in the comment section. You're a moderator. I appreciate you, man. Good point here from Evan. I think the Suns are at their best offensively when they involve Ayton early. Exactly. And run offense through him. Also, I think they need to rely on him offensively more when we are in shooting slumps. I agree with that. Because of this, one thing I've noticed so far early this season is sometimes Deandre Ayton is a little bit of a decoy. And I mean that respectfully. Because we all know that Deandre Ayton is pretty good at that mid-range shot. And we've seen what Deandre Ayton can do when you get him going early, when you feed him the ball, when he dominates in the paint, when he takes those confident mid-range shots. But I've also noticed that Deandre Ayton's passing so far has been pretty good. There's been lots of possessions where he gets the ball, he kind of holds it for a second. He'll find like a cutting Mikal Bridges or a cutting Cam Johnson. He'll throw it down. He'll dish it out. He can be used as that decoy. But if the Suns keep going to him, especially when they are in shooting slumps, that could be a huge X factor this season. And I think the Suns are doing that. I think they might have to do that. Because if that can be used as another offensive weapon for the Phoenix Suns this year, then why not try it? Try it during the regular season and then see if it works or not, before the playoffs start. And we all know Deandre Ayton, with all due respect, sometimes he does get disengaged when he doesn't, get the ball enough, or if he's having foul trouble or whatever the case may be. So get him involved early. Let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments here. Make sure y'all like the stream for our boy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Applebite Music, man. I appreciate you, bro. Like always, the West is stacked this year. Plenty of teams on the come up. Exactly. Suns have their work cut out for them Tuesday against the Warriors. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game, you guys. Don't sleep on the Warriors, man. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments. I know there's like a million comments. I'm trying to get to all of them. I apologize, you guys. All right. Let me see. Y'all are conversating in the comments, and I appreciate it. How is Cam Johnson holding up so far, though? I don't know if this is necessarily a question or a comment, rather, but he has had a little bit of we kind of talked about it earlier. A little bit of injuries here and there, but tonight he looked good. He didn't look like necessarily explosive, but again, he had like 5 very quiet rebounds, hit a couple made threes, had the confidence to shoot them. I think he looked okay. Let's see. Suns' main priority should be getting a guy that can complement Book to take pressure off of CP3. Well, why can't that be Deandre Ayton? I'm serious. Like that's why I mentioned the quote decoy, with all due respect to Deandre Ayton. Why can't that be Deandre Ayton? Why can't Ayton have a quote like a close to a borderline all-star season and be that dominant Deandre Ayton that we've seen? Why can't that be him? I kind of want to show you guys this comment. So let me upload it real quick. And look, I'm not trying to pick on Suns fans here. Everybody has their own opinion. Basketball is very subjective. This kind of reminds me of, and look, I'm not trying to hopefully I'm not talking crazy here. So shout out to my guy, Trevor Paxton. He says, the fun part about Suns Twitter is that almost every discussion about roster moves consists of desperately wanting to claim another team's scraps for bench help, or 2, believing a combo of lesser pieces will net an S-tier player via trade. And there's also no in-between. Look, I'm not trying to pick on Suns fans here. I'm really not. And let's be real. Every NBA fan base does this. Every NBA fan base is like, this player sucks. This player had a bad game. Let's trade player X for player Y and Z. You know what I mean? And I understand there's great talent out there. But why can't Deandre Ayton be that option? And you guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about here. And it's that comment that I just had up that I can't find anymore. And I understand, sure, Devin Booker could use some more help, especially if Chris Paul's going to kind of have these mixed review games, excuse me, that we've seen. You know what I mean? But somebody mentioned this earlier, and I forgot who it was. It might have been Eddie Johnson, the Suns broadcaster. He said something like, these players are still learning, these players are still growing, and they're still improving. So even though it might take a while, you might get some good games out of a Landry Shamet or a Campaign or a Jock Lindell or a Deandre Ayton. You're going to see that this season. I know that Suns fans want success. I know that Suns fans want us to go 82-0. I know that Suns fans want a championship, and I do too. But it takes time. And no disrespect to Suns fans or NBA fans out there, but this is not NBA 2K. You can't just click a button and trade a player. It doesn't work like that. I went on a huge rant during the preseason about Jonathan Isaac because I saw a couple comments. People were like, why don't we trade for Jonathan Isaac? His defense is great. That doesn't mean that Jonathan Isaac is available. Jonathan Isaac probably is not available for trade, or they would have traded him by now. By the way, Jonathan Isaac is a very nice guy. If you ever meet him in person, go shake his hand. I guarantee you he will have a conversation with you. He's a very nice guy. Sorry, that's my little bit of a rant. I just had to just say that not every player that we want is available. That's it. That's all I had to say. And yes, I see some Jordan Clarkson things in here. The dude can score the ball. He's what? Didn't he win like a former sixth man or most improved or something like that not too long ago? He can score. Great player. That doesn't mean he's available. Even though the Jazz are 3-0 and they're probably going to be terrible later this year, that doesn't mean he's available, you guys. That's why what's his name that everybody wanted? That one dude from the Jazz. I don't remember his name. The Jazz literally said he wasn't available, but I forgot his name. I don't know. I need to take a sip of my beer. Sorry. Let me just take a drink real quick. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Witty. Says, yeah, Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt. I can't talk. The dude would be awesome for us. Very young, really underrated rebounder, great size, but that doesn't mean he's available. I think they could use Isaac if they got picks, but that won't change the needle. That's another thing too, you guys. Like, even though I wasn't super confident, quote, running it back for the Phoenix Suns, I will say continuity kind of plays a factor throughout the season. And there could still be trades to be made. I mean, obviously, Jay Crowder is not going to be with us. There could be something there. Maybe somebody else gets traded. I don't know. But I'm just saying, Suns fans are like, let's trade for this guy. Let's trade for that guy. This player sucks. Like, it's not that easy, you guys. That's all I'm saying. And you're right. Like, I don't know if a Jay Crowder trade is necessarily going to change the needle, change the outcome for this team. I don't know. But we could use somebody. And let's be real. We could probably use a Jay Crowder right now, even after this win. A Jay Crowder would have been nice. That was nice. Early birthday present from me. Well, shout out to you, David. Thanks for being here, man. I don't always agree with your takes, David. Sometimes you're a little too negative for me, man, but I got love for you. You're always in the streams, and I appreciate you. If you want, I'll make you a mod, man. Appreciate you being here, man. Happy early birthday to you. All about the system A player is being implemented in. Our management does a fantastic job of getting what we need. Look at the last 4 years with Monty Williams. Exactly. They showed that on the broadcast earlier. Monty Williams, like year by year coaching record in terms of the Suns, and it's gone up every year. And I understand that it hasn't been, it hasn't resulted in a championship. I know that last year was a disaster. In terms of the playoffs, it was a disaster, but Monty Williams is the right guy for the job until I am proven otherwise wrong. Um, you know, sometimes his rotations are questionable, which, speaking of that, I really feel like Monty Williams did an excellent job tonight of his rotations. For example, we didn't see Josh Okogie until the very end of the game. With all due respect to Josh Okogie, who I really like, he's a solid defender. We didn't see him till the end of the game. Monty stuck to his guys tonight. He trusted the players that have been playing good, like Jock Lindell, Torrey Craig, et cetera, et cetera. So shout out to Monty Williams. I feel like his rotations were good tonight. And Monty Williams made a really good point. He said, and I think I have the quote too. Let me see if I can find it. He said something along the lines of like, this team isn't fully healthy yet. I think once we get healthy, guys will know their roles. Guys will know where to be. Guys will find their shots. He said something like that. And I think he's right. And that's why I said in the Blazers game, I was like, we really could have used a Landry Shamet tonight. You know what I mean? Like sometimes these guys are more valuable than we make them out to be. So I think that's it, guys. I think I'm done ranting. I think I'm done preaching to you guys. If you have any last minute comments, get them in. Any last minute questions, any last minute concerns, conversation starters, let me know. By the way, even though nobody dropped a YouTube super chat tonight, can I show you my cheesy YouTube super chat drop that I made? It's really cheesy. I spent like 10, 20 minutes on it or less. Check this out. You guys like that super high quality, expensive, totally well produced super chat drop that I made? If you missed it, I'll show you. Nobody donated a super chat tonight, and I totally understand. You totally don't have to, but I wanted to show you guys that anyways. He needs to mix it up. If the Suns settle, teams are going to figure them out, and they'll be destined for a first or second round exit. I kind of agree on the mix it up thing, because that's why I said I wasn't the biggest fan of the Phoenix Suns, quote, running it back. But at the same time, sometimes continuity and chemistry really is important. And Monty Williams talked about that earlier. He said, like, he didn't necessarily say it the way I'm saying it, but he said, like, he would have liked to see somebody in for Jay Crowder before the season started. Excuse me. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but he's kind of right. Like, if we would have gotten somebody in, maybe like the final preseason of, last preseason game, that would have been cool because you would have been able to like build that chemistry, have a couple practices under your belt. I don't know when a Jay Crowder trade is coming. OTR says, who do you want to trade for Jay Crowder? I have no clue, man. There's been all these crazy Jay Crowder trade rumors. There are some names on the table, but I'm like, does it make sense for both teams? I think that it's taking a little too long. I mean, we're already 3 games in, and Jay Crowder has still not been traded. Dangerous says, let's do a Suns merch focus. Everyone send in some pics. Great merch out for this season. Okay, guys, I'll be real with you. There are like merch stores and companies that do all that. But I'm just like too lazy. I need to actually just sit down and quote create some merch, but I want it to be like good merch for you guys to like see and to actually wear and purchase. So maybe one day I'll do some merch. If even like one person bought a t-shirt, that'd be amazing. Um, but yeah, I just maybe one day. If somebody that I can trust can like help me out with that, let me know. I know that there's other like Suns content creators and NBA content creators that have their merch stores. So maybe I just need to like reach out to them, but I'm just like too lazy to do that. So maybe soon. Um, let's see. Mr. Minecraft World says Seti Osman. So I talked about this during the preseason. Seti Osman is somebody who I wouldn't mind. Puts up really good numbers. Nice wing player. Sort of a quote veteran for the Cavs, sort of. But and he's even talked about it. I watched an interview where he was like, "Yeah, I know my name's been in trade rumors, but I'm gonna, show up every day and work hard, blah blah." Um, but I don't know if that's really what the Cavs need. If the Cavs did get a Jay Crowder, I think they would be an instant. I already think they're going to be a good contender. I think they're going to be a solid team all year. But if they got a Jay Crowder, whoever gets Jay Crowder is going to be better. Let's be real. But does it make sense for both teams? I don't know. Christian says going to Suns Pelicans on Friday. So hyped. Shout out to you, man. Have a blast, bro. Rock your Suns merch. Tell everybody about Suns Geek while you're there, man. If you have Cash App or PayPal or both, don't create them and post them in your description. Yeah, I just use YouTube Super Chat for now. I had Venmo. Maybe I could link that, but yeah, I don't really have any. I probably do, but I don't know. Why is my Super Chat not working? I don't know why. Um, not everyone can / is comfortable with Super Chats. Also, YouTube takes a percentage. That's true, man. I agree with that. All right, guys. I think that's it. I'm pretty burnt out. Um, I appreciate everybody that's in here. Once again, if you're watching this afterwards, leave me all your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. Hulk smash that like button, share the live stream, share the live show, ask a question, even if it's afterwards. Let me know. I'll try my best to get to it in a future video or whatever the case may be. And thank you guys again. Like we had like 80 people in here at one point. We have 65 in here currently. Like I said, I say this after every stream, but I truly, truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. Like there's tons of great Suns content out there, but you guys continue to watch me. You continue to support me. And I am just flattered by that every single day. Stay tuned for more live streams, more live shows. I want to do more pregame live shows. I've been kind of lazy the past couple days. I'm not going to lie. I uploaded like a ton of videos and it just like drained me. Because again, I am a one-man show over here. But I'm gonna step it up for you guys because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve the best Phoenix Suns content possible. OTR says, "See you post game for Suns Warriors." Thanks for saying that, man. That made me feel good. I appreciate you. And I will be live. If for some reason I'm not live, I will tell you guys about it. We sort of saw a preview of that during the Suns Nuggets game. My internet just wasn't working that night and I couldn't go live. And I uploaded a quick little video saying, "Hey, I can't go live because my internet sucks." So, but yeah, definitely more on the way, you guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Christian says, "Thanks for the great post game show. Now I know where to go to discuss after." Thanks, Christian. I appreciate you saying that, man. Appreciate you, bro. Happy to see your channel got monetized. You're putting in the work, brother. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. If you need any help, let me know. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot, man. Feel free to DM me or something, bro. Let me know, man. I appreciate anybody's help out there. Let me know. Like I said, I'm a one-man show out here, you guys. And stay tuned for more content. I want to do more videos. I want to really like dive into the footage and the tape of this team so I can like pick up things that I missed and maybe talk about that in a future live show. Also, stay tuned for more guests. I feel like I need to get more guests on here. Like I said, November 1st, I might be collabing with Let's Talk Wolves when we play the Timberwolves. Eventually, I want to get like Flex from Jersey on here, the Suns Jam Session podcast. Anybody, I want to get more guests on here. Biscuits and gravy for me tomorrow for your birthday. That sounds actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. More power, Sons Geek. Well, thank you guys. You guys are all awesome. I'm out of here. You guys are amazing people. God bless you guys. Stay tuned for more Suns content. Come here after every Phoenix Suns game for the best Phoenix Suns content on YouTube. Stay tuned for more videos, YouTube shorts. Also, follow me on TikTok, you guys. I've kind of been getting into TikTok lately. I'm almost at 500 followers. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've actually checked them. A few of them are bots or like fake accounts. I don't care. I'm almost at 500 followers. Hold on real quick.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
I'm almost at 500 followers.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
But I don't care. TikTok is kind of fun. So I've been on TikTok lately. I've been uploading. Follow me on Suns Geek at YouTube. TikTok's actually low key, like really inspirational too. Like if you look at the right places, you can find like really motivational content. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, I'm out of here. I love you guys. I'm gonna go finish off this beer. I'm gonna enjoy my night. Maybe play some video games. And we will see you guys pre-game and post-game for the Suns versus Warriors. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Peace out. God bless. And go Suns.